scoring area for most soccer teams. Is DeMello a diminutive defensive back? The ball is played into the box. DeMello was getting quite physical with his mark there. The ball is played forward, and an opportunity for Jarek Whiteman to Hallis. Guzman was almost offside. Ball played. Whiteman, his shot, just over the goal.
Actually, I don't know if we're going to get the replay or not, but I honestly thought he was offside. Maybe the referee may have missed it on that, but sometimes also on the angle that we may be at. Here's the replay now.
This is the replay of that score. The scoring opportunity by Whiteman was a good opportunity, but he kept that one just a little bit right, and it was a little bit high at the same time. And SC Toronto is going to have extra boots on their shots here with the wind going to the south. Alon Badat into the game, or starting the game for SC Toronto. We haven't seen him start in a few weeks now. Plays it to the the York Region back line. Ball along the far sideline for York Region. They play it into the middle. Turned over. This is Brennan Nickel for Toronto. Ball's played forward. It's offside. And SC Toronto will have themselves a free kick.
We got to remember one thing too tonight, that the coach of SC Toronto at one time was also the coach of the York Region Shooters. So every time these two organizations meet one another, as a competitor, you always want to win. So regardless if you've wrapped up first place or not, Carmen Isako, not only is he a great coach, he's also won championships at the university level. Last year with York University, his club won the Nationals. So we can see that Carmen's always been at the top. He's a great coach, and he's an extremely competitive individual. He's a competitive coach, and he was a competitive player in his day, so nothing's changed.
Well, he's a very big, tall, lanky football player, and as the ball is played into the box, and a nice clear away by Jean-Louis Peruzza, ball still in danger. Sent in. Here's a shot, and it goes wide, as there was a trailer coming in to try and get another tap on that, but the ball was kept away, and Scott Cliff will have a goal kick.
Yeah, that ball was meant for Lecky, but unfortunately Lecky was too far behind. If Lecky had put that in, it could have been his 18th goal of the season, which would have put him ahead, but he's still tied with the other two individuals, West and Vukovic. So we can see that one of them is going to have to break the lead, and it's probably going to be decided this weekend. It might even come down to next Wednesday night, the final CSL regular season game at Victoria Park in Brampton.
Ball on Camilo Benzi's foot. He just boots that not very far. Ball's taken over by SC Toronto. Whiteman to Alon Badat. Now Brendan McNichol. Badat it looked like he toe picked, and the ball went out of play.
Well, a lot of times you have to take into consideration the footing. Even though it is on turf, it's extremely slippery out there now, so you're not always going to get a good kick away or good control of the ball.
For SC Toronto, nice move to get around his mark. Now Mirabelli, he's knocked off hard, but DeMello gets the ball back. Turned over to Dumet. Dumet for York Region. Along the near sideline, plays the ball up. This is Jason de Tomasis. Plays it into the middle to midfield. Lord Taylor. His cross just went forward and goes all the way out of play. And Toronto will get themselves the ball back, or it looks like it went off of an SC Toronto player, so York Region will hold on to the ball.
Taylor Lord is a late pickup by the York Region Shooters. He played with the PDL Toronto Lynx. He had a fine season in the PDL, and when the opportunity arose, the York Region Shooters picked him up, and it's a great pickup for the club, and I'm sure he'll be very valuable to them in the playoffs.
Well, the ball was along the far sideline, and it was knocked out of play, and SC Toronto will get a goal kick off of that one. Casey DeMello is being very physical here early in the game.
Absolutely. You've got to be physical. You can't leave anything on the table. You got to give it all, because if you don't, you're liable to get hurt, or in this case, scored upon.
And for him, he's a diminutive back, and for him, is he not afraid of getting injured when he takes on a lot bigger players?
As a player I mean, the injury factor can always be there, but if you always have that in the back of your mind, more often than not, you're going to get hurt. You got to go out there and give it your all. If you're a little bit tentative, that's when more often than not you're going to get hurt.
And he plays a lot larger than his size, but it seems to work for him, and the game is still scoreless 15 minutes into the first half. Sam Kareem, Ennio Peruzza here on Rogers TV as SC Toronto and the York Region Shooters are amidst the game of the week on Rogers TV, and an opportunity. Alain Badat off the post! And Badat put that right off the post. Looked like he was trying to cross. Massimo Mirabelli was in the middle. Couldn't get it there.
Yeah, it looked like the shooters were a little bit lackadaisical there, and SC Toronto, just on the inside of the post, they went outside. Benzie was very fortunate in that. It could easily be 1-0 for SC Toronto almost 16 minutes into the game.
The ball kicked in. Hallis into Mirabelli. Mirabelli, a left foot. What a stop by Benzie.
Beautiful stop by Benzie. Outstretched. Benzie is one of the most consistent keepers in our league. He's been in the league for a number of years. He's probably one of the top 2 keepers in the league. And when it came down to make a beautiful stop, which he did there, which was deflected off of Dumet's foot, the ball could have easily have slipped in, especially on the wet ground. But Benzie came up with a great stop to keep the game scoreless 16 minutes in.
Well, they're switching the ball here as the ball is obviously very wet. And now Benzie will have an opportunity to play it.
Now, I will tell you one thing. In the second to last game that Benzie played, he injured his ankle, and I saw there a little bit that he's still limping, similar to that injury he had suffered a couple of Sundays ago. So I don't know if he's playing 100% or he's hiding it quite well, but he does seem to be laboring a little bit. So we'll see what the rest of the evening will bring for him.
Well, making that dive to make that save may have re-aggravated that injury, and we'll keep an eye on that throughout this game.
I'll tell you something, I don't think the shooters can afford to lose him. He's basically their backbone, and if the shooters don't have him in net, I don't think they'll be going too far.
Adam Mayer is their backup goalkeeper, wearing number 00. He's on their bench today.
Adam Mayer is plays on their second team. He's a very good keeper, but as of yet, he doesn't have the experience that Camilo Benzie has at this time.
So, Ennio, York Region, they're playing. Their backup, their starting goaltender is a little hurt, but as we see an opportunity here by York Region and a shot again. They carry the shots just way wide with the wind.
Absolutely, and you got to remember, I mean, SC Toronto can afford to rest their players. Even though York Region Shooters have made the playoffs, they definitely want to move up. They don't want to be where they are right now. So if they can put in a better keeper, even though he may not be 100%, and they can get 3 points out here tonight, steal a win, they're going to do it, and they'll take their chances later.
Ball into the middle. On the foot of Lord. Taylor Lord coming off that PDL, coming from the PDL to the York Region Shooters. For Chris Turner. Ball looked like it was played off a hand, but play on. SC Toronto was able to collect the ball. Jarek Whiteman plays it up. Back. Now up to David Guzman. Into the middle at midfield. Near sideline to Casey DeMello. DeMello along the ground looking for was Mirabelli into the middle to McNichol. Back to DeMello. Oh, he tried to make a pass in for Hallis, couldn't get to him, but it gets to Mirabelli. Back to DeMello, now to Hallis, back to Mirabelli. Can't get around. Good defensive play by York Region, but Casey DeMello, oh, he's got fancy footwork here as the ball is off a York Region foot and out of play. And DeMello will get a throw.
Looks like another ball is coming in, so that one is probably a little bit wet. So there's probably going to be a lot of ball changes tonight because of the wetness of the ball and of the field.
Well, Casey DeMello with that fancy footwork, and he's got wheels. He's able to play physically. As Alessandro Hallis, the leading goal scorer for SC Toronto, is down.